Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhara
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhara
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tiravana Yamuna Tiravana
Yamuna Tiravana
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Now, which verse is it? There's a marker.
Verse
6.14.2.
yes.
Huh? 2?
2 yeah.
4.
14:2
2. Verse 2.
yes.
Alright? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udiraye.
Tato Jayam Udiraye
That before, mixed up I think, before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, we first offer obeisances to Narayan, the Supreme Lord, to Narayan Rishi, the Supreme Person, to the Mother Goddess Saraswati, the Goddess of Learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavat Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki
By regular attendance in the classes, the Srimad Bhagavatam, by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is inauspicious in the heart will become destroyed almost to nil, and thus loving service to the personality of Godhead will become an irrevocable fact. Text 2, chapter 14, 6th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Devanam,
Devanam
Shuddha Sattvanam,
Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam,
Rishinam
Shamalatmanam,
Jamalatmanam
Bhaktir,
Bhaktir
Mukunda Charane,
Mukunda Charane
Na
Na
Prayeno Pajayate,
Prayeno Pajayate
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam,
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam Shamalatmanam,
Rishinam Jamalatmanam
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane,
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Na Prayeno Pajayate,
Na Prayeno Pajayate
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam,
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam Shamalatmanam,
Rishinam Shamalatmanam
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane,
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Na Prayeno Pajayate.
Na Prayeno Pajayate
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Aprayeno Pajayate
Na Prayeno Pajayate
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Na Prayeno Pajayate
Aprayeno Pajayate
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Devanam Shuddha Sattvanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Rishinam Chamalatmanam
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Bhaktir Mukunda Charane
Prayeno Pajayate
Naprayeno Pajayate
That's it. Devanam
Devanam
of the demigods.
of the demigods
Shuddha Sattvanam
Shuddha Sattvanam
whose minds are purified.
whose minds are purified
Rishinam
Rishinam
of the great saintly persons.
of great saintly persons
Cha
Cha
and
and
Amala Atmanam
Amala Atmanam
who have purified their existence.
who purify their existence
Bhakti
Bhakti
devotional service.
devotional service
Mukunda Charane
Mukunda Charane
to the lotus feet of Mukunda,
the lotus feet of Mukunda
the Lord who can give liberation.
Na
Not. Prayena
Prayena
almost always.
almost always
Pajayate
Pajayate
develops.
develops
Translation. Demigods situated in the mode of goodness and great
Demigod
saints cleansed of the dirt of material enjoyment hardly ever render pure devotional service at the lotus feet of Mukunda. Therefore, how could Vritrasura have become such a great devotee? Repeat. Demigods situated in the mode of goodness
Demigods situated in the mode of goodness
and great saints cleansed of the dirt of material enjoyment
and great saints cleansed of the dirt of material enjoyment
hardly ever render pure devotional service
hardly ever render pure devotional
at
service
the lotus feet of Mukunda.
at the lotus feet of Mukunda.
Therefore, how could Vritrasura have
Therefore, how could Vritrasura
become such a great devotee?
have become such a great devotee?
And there's no purport. Anyway, you can see that devotees are very rare, real devotees, like all of you. So, Om Gana Timiranda Syaganandana Shalakaya Chaksura Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurumina Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sanivari Paschatya Desa Tarane Vanchakalpa Turvyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Trishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosti Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami. So I have to read text 3. Rajo bi sama sankyataha parti vair iha jantava tesham ye kechane hante shreyo vai manujadaya. In the material world, there are as many living entities as atoms. Among these living entities, very few are human beings, and among them, few are interested in following religious principles. as many living entities as atoms. I don't know how they count, but if you ever seen these pictures of sand magnified 500 times, it looks like jewels or jujubes or something. But they say that there's more atoms on the head of a pin than there are sand in the whole planet. So it's a lot of living entities. Few are interested in following religious principles. That's all described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Rupa Goswami teaching to Rupa Goswami. How, there's so many living entities and then so few human beings, and then out of the human beings, most of them don't have any culture, and the ones that do have culture, they don't follow it, half of them. And finally, the devotees are very, very rare. So we're very fortunate to be with devotees, and we can see the effect. The more devotees come together, the more the kirtan becomes ecstatic. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi. Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So we go for Rath Yatra. So many people get one lava or more than one lava. Right? Even if they just hear one Krishna, it's a few lavas, but it does something. But we see how Lord Jagannath also attracts everybody. So many devotees come to wherever there's a Rath Yatra. Text 4. Prayo mukuk shavaste sham kechanaiva dvijotama mumukshu nam sahasreshu kaschin muchyeta siddhyati. O best of the Brahmins, Sukadeva Goswami, out of many persons who follow religious principles, only a few desire liberation from the material world. Among many thousands who desire liberation, one may actually achieve liberation, giving up material attachment in society, friendship, love, country, wife, home, etc., and children. And among many thousands of such liberated persons, one who can understand the true meaning of liberation is very rare. So that's what I was trying to say. It comes up. So, Manusyanam sahasreshu kasyad yadadi siddhaye yatitam api siddhanam kasyameviti tatprataha. Out of many thousands among men, only one will have any interest in anything religious. And mostly that it's kaitava dharma, they're just do some dharma art, religious activities for material, for economic gain. That's what we want. That's why the politicians always say we'll fix the economy. The previous one has made the economy so bad, but don't worry, we're going to make it great again. So one thing in America, the so-called president was saying, we've created so many millions of jobs. And they showed one woman, she said, now I have 3 of them and I can't pay my rent. So this is the problem. Because the desires are wrong. Very few desire even liberation, they just want to enjoy it. And the true meaning of liberation is Bhakti. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. There are 4 classes of men, namely karmis, gyanis, yogis, and bhaktas. This statement pertains especially to karmis and gyanis, in the verse. A karmi tries to be happy within this material world by changing from one body to another. His objective is bodily comfort, either in this planet or in another. When such a person becomes a Gyani, however, he aspires for liberation from material bondage. Among many such persons who aspire for liberation, one may actually be liberated during his life. Such a person gives up his attachment for society, friendship, love, country, family, wife, and children. Among many such persons who are in the vanaprastha stage, one may understand the value of becoming a sannyasi, completely accepting the renounced order of life. So, we have some great souls here that are absorbed in a lifetime of spreading the holy name around the world. This is a real understanding. One doesn't have to change ashram exactly officially, like dress. Krishna says the real sannyasi is one who's dedicated everything to Krishna, not just one who lights no fire and performs no work, right? So, but very few are really interested in, most people that want liberation, they want to get away from everything, they're afraid of getting contaminated. The devotees, they go into the middle of everything where the most sinful people are. Prabhupada, I remember right after Prabhupada left, I heard one of his godbrothers say, and my guru asked me to go to America, but I don't like low-class people. It's not that Prabhupada liked low-class people, but he knew they were souls. He knew they were all just lost souls. And he wanted to connect them with Krishna, and he wanted to make the whole world Krishna conscious, make every person, not just a few, not just to live comfortably or, be a big author, but to give this Krishna consciousness to everybody. So devotees are working on that. That's Prabhupada's movement and mission. I was looking up movement in the dictionary. Mostly it just talks about moving, but there's one that's a military strategy is a movement, So that's what Prabhupada, he had a strategy. Nobody knows because, in the beginning he had different ideas and he changed his, whatever Krishna sent him, he just adjusted everything. But he always had the goal is to give Krishna consciousness, real Krishna consciousness, knowledge, the 7 purposes of ISKCON, to give the knowledge, everything centered around that, and to do this, to distribute books, to create places of pilgrimage, to bring the devotees together, for strength, and to spread the holy name. This is how we'll take over the world. And Ramaswara Prabhu was always thinking of, because we used to say all the time we're going to take over the world. Prabhupada said that a lot. So he said, how would it happen? Would it be a revolution like the Russian Revolution? Or would there be a war or, elections or whatever? Prabhupada said, no. Simply by the Sankirtan spreading all over the world, the atmosphere of the planet gets purified. People get purified. These verses ahead, they talked about that. If someone gets purified, few are interested in regulating principles, but some get purified. Amala. The Bhagavatam is Amala Purana, the spotless Purana. Dharma Protita Kaitavotra, Nirmat Saranam. It's spotless. It's for those who are not envious. Can be understood by those who are pure in heart, who are not envious. Dharma Protita Kaitavotra, Nirmat Saranam Satam. No envy. Everybody's in the material world because we're envious of Krishna. But to understand the Bhagavatam, we have to be not envious. We just want to serve the Lord. Krishna has unlimited opulences, so we're envious if somebody's rich or beautiful, famous, influential, knowledgeable. Why not me? But nobody can come close to Krishna with unlimited opulences. So when devotees want to serve Krishna and give up everything to serve Krishna, also get opulences. The real opulence is just to be content, to be satisfied just with Krishna. Person who's satisfied with Krishna, he can be happy in any condition, health or sickness or trouble or whatever is supposed to be nice in the world. But a person who is envious can never be happy. A person who is greedy can never be satisfied. Krishna can give us everything we need, but he can't fulfill the greed. Greedy people, they just want more and more. The more they get, the more they want. So out of thousands who want liberation, one may actually get liberation to give up attachment for these material things, but for the devotee, what is it that who said that? That liberation is waiting as a servant? Who said that? Huh? Bilva Mangal Thakur, yeah. What did he say? Anyway, liberation is insignificant for a devotee. It's like people ask about peace of mind. You know, what's that? You know, actually, for a devotee, there's peace, but it's not like peace of mind, like they're thinking. You know, where there's just nothingness or something. Mother Yasoda was always in anxiety. It's transcendental anxiety for Krishna, so it just made her think of Krishna. What is it, ghastliness or something? You think of Krishna being attacked by all these big demons, and you know she was even worried. The gopis were worried Krishna's going to step on a thorn or something. So, and devotees like Prahlad, he was also in anxiety. How that, you know, feeling compassion for all the people, not even wanting to go back to Godhead until everyone else goes first. And that's Prabhupada, that's our movement. Prabhupada gave us many examples of such people, but he himself was a perfect example. We had his appearance day a few days ago, and you know, everybody's reading. On the train here, I was reading the Prabhupada tributes from, you know, Prabhupada disciples all over the world. So it's quite amazing, you know, and everybody, you know, has such intense feelings, and they really gave up, you know, more or less gave up everything. Everybody gave many years for, you know, just completely madness, Sankirtan, but nobody ever, you know, everybody's still completely attached and could be wanting, you know, just to surrender everything to Krishna. And not only Prabhupada direct disciples, but then we got all the, sometimes it's more enlivening to read the, you know, the Vast Puja book with the offerings of all these so-called second generation or third generation, and they're even more attached to Prabhupada. They're more absorbed in Prabhupada's books or Prabhupada's leelas than we ever were. But so we have this special mercy. We have the Amala Purana. It throws out from the very beginning all religion which is materially motivated. Mostly dharma, artha, kama. You do some religion, yajante nama yagnaste, will do some yagya in name only, and then I'll enjoy, right? You get some money from the yagya, get some opulence, get some power, and then I'll get some kama, some enjoyment. And it mentions here that some, at some point, they get frustrated that the sense gratification is not satisfying, and there's nothing more you can do, and they may try for liberation and may give it up. But then they don't want real liberation, which is devotional service. They just want to get out of the frustration, get out of the suffering. So devotees are doing whatever they can to attract people. Of course, dancing is especially attractive. So we hope to see the same kind of energy on the Rath Yatra. Dancing, like Devananda Pandit was a dried up scholar of the Bhagavatam. He didn't understand it as bhakti somehow or other, but he could recite it better than anyone else and attract everybody, big crowds, many followers. And Lord Chaitanya didn't appreciate him because he tolerated his disciples offending Shrivas. Lord Chaitanya, he went right outside his place and shouted, you're a fool, you're reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, but you don't understand any word of it. You're a rascal. He's right out in the street. But then this Devananda, he saw Vakreshwar Pandit dancing. I think it was 6 hours or something in some program, just dancing in ecstasy. And he got so attracted to that dancing that he started to just like serve Vakreshwar. He would stay behind him in case he fell backwards, and he would wipe the sweat off his, if he fell in the dust, he'd clean him up. And so he started associating with him, and then just because he was attracted to the dancing. And then, of course, he must have heard his preaching, and then he became a great devotee. And when he met Lord Chaitanya again, he was very humble, and he said, what is the meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam anyway? Who knows? What did Lord Chaitanya say? Huh? Take a guess. Huh? Yeah, he said bhakti. That's the goal, is love of God. Bhakti, real pure bhakti. He said nothing else. The Bhagavatam isn't about anything else, whatever it seems like, whatever kind of story may be there. It's all bhakti. And it rejects it. Like in the Vedas, Trigunya Vishaya Veda, they deal mainly with the three gunas, how to live within the three gunas and enjoy material life without getting entangled in sinful activity, so you don't have to go to hell. You can enjoy and stay, So some want to go to heaven. Some think, I'll just be pious, I'll be good, and I'll take another pious verse and I'll go on enjoying in the next life. That's risky. There's no guarantee of that. Prabhupada even said, devotees would say, I want to just take birth after birth. And Mr. Prabhupada said, you should try to get out. We should want to get out of the material world. And if we do take another birth, we can be out, but can somehow be absorbed in Krishna's service. So that's real liberation, is devotional service. It's not just getting away from everything. Nobody would like that if they have a lot of troubles in life and they go away somewhere all by themselves. After a while, they want to be with somebody. The devotees we want sadhu sangha, we want to be with devotees more and more. Prabhupada created a whole movement for us, not only books, but society that he spread all over the world, so people can come and associate with devotees, join the kirtan, get prasadam. And he gave us Rath Yatra, which is, the whole story is amazing, how Jagannath happened to come to him. The first Rath Yatra, you might have read about it. Prabhupada designed the cart, he just had a flat back truck, and he said put arches on three sides, back and sides, put the deities there, and they drove. And thousands of people followed to the beach. Prabhupada wasn't there, he was ill. And the devotees, after the Rath Yatra, they drove the deities out to where Prabhupada was. And they told Prabhupada that some hippies were giving out candy, and it was LSD in it. And some of the devotees took it. Prabhupada said, so you shouldn't take food from karmis. That's all he said. That was the way things were then. But they distributed, thousands of huge amounts of prasadam, and that was the first Rath Yatra. Now they're all over the world, and they always attract so many people. Devotees come from far away, New York, London, LA Rath Yatra. They come from all over the world. This New York Rath Yatra, the last couple of years, the police are very strict on this Fifth Avenue. There's 4 lanes, but they got to stay on the one side and got to keep moving because otherwise you block the cross traffic and everything.
And before it was more lanes?
And the police just gave up. There were so many devotees, they just said, don't worry, because they couldn't control the crowd, just took over the whole 4 lanes. And they're coming from all over America, all over, they come from Europe, come from everywhere for Rath Yatra. Lord Jagannath is somehow so attractive. And then there's so much kirtan, so much everything. So we're seeing that here, so many devotees are here already. Many more will come. So it's special mercy, this Lord Jagannath. Of course now, in Puri he came out because the so-called low-class devotees, they couldn't go into the temple, they want darshan. That's why he came out. Now, the temples our temples are open, Jagannath temples all over the world, but nobody wants to go. So that Jagannath goes out, so they're forced. Because when they see that cart, one devotee was asking, he said something about Juggernaut. And he didn't know the word. Juggernaut is a character in the Marvel comics. You don't know that? You don't know Marvel comics? The Juggernaut is a word in the English language that some British monk or some Britishers anyway, they saw the Rath Yatra and everybody's a Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. And they thought this huge thing and it's like destructive force, going to smash everybody because they saw the big crowds. So they came up with that word Juggernaut. Juggernaut means a very irrepressible force that's going to smash everything in its path. That's Lord Jagannath. But he cuts a path through everywhere he goes, these carts, somehow we get permission. The first New York Rath Yatra, they had a law for many years already that they would not issue any new parade permits. They had too many parades already. So Prabhupada said, try anyway. So devotees went, Toshan Krishna Prabhu, and the guy, he talked to him, and the guy said, I don't know why I'm doing this, but, you can have it. And that meant lifetime permit, we didn't have to renew it. And so he went to tell Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, what did you tell him? He said, I said we have 3 hand-pulled carts. So that sounds like a little kid's wagon or something. But they had big, really big. They were the first, I think, maybe one of the first 3-cart Rath Yatras. Really big ones. So that, anyway, he gets permission everywhere, and people really like it. In many cities, the same police volunteer every year for Rath Yatra. They like it. It's easy, but also they just like the association of devotees. So this is the whole idea, is to give our association, Lavamatra. We want to give it. Every devotee can associate with so many people. Just please chant, So we have the Harinam Ruchi here. This is what, we're all striving for, is to get a taste for the holy name. We might think, oh, it's hard to chant my rounds because we don't have a taste. Sometimes it's a bad taste and your mind is going crazy. But if we really have a taste, then that the real meaning of ruchi means you can't stop chanting. It's not just that you like it. Can't stop. I like it. I like kirtan for half hour, but no, you can't stop. So we're very blessed to have so many devotees here. Special mercy for me. I got the Munich Rath Yatra a couple weeks ago. So Germany gets blessed, has very good facility for Rath Yatra, shopping streets. In America we don't have anything like that. Very rare to find it. You just have to go down the regular road. In some places, like in Thailand, Africa, they only give permission on Sunday when there's no traffic. There's nobody. Shops are all closed. Nobody's around. You just have a parade with nobody around. But here you get right in the middle where the people are already there. And then many people come also if it's advertised enough. So special mercy. So thank you for having me, and take comments or questions because we want to get ready pretty soon, right? We've got Parivrita here. He's going to perform on stage. Practicing somewhere. So any comment or question? Comments are better. Improvements. Everybody knows Rath Yatra anyway. Everyone knows how Jagannath Prabhupada had his own Rath Yatra when he was a child. He used to sleep with his cart, he said. You know, he somehow got a wagon. And he always wanted to go to, as soon as he graduated, he went to Puri. And then he made Rath Yatra all over the world. And still they don't let devotees, foreign devotees in the temple. But he said it doesn't matter, Jagannath is coming out. So now Jagannath is everywhere. In India, a lot of the Sankirtan buses, they have Jagannath deities. The first Sankirtan bus from Bombay, they open the door and there's Jagannath and they put the book table in front. So when they went to Orissa, Bhima said they were worried maybe people would think you shouldn't take Jagannath around like that. And they were in some village and the people wouldn't let them leave. They wanted to worship Jagannath. They had to stay like 3 days or something. So he's all over the world, and practically every devotee house in the world has Jagannath deities. We don't know how many Jagannath temples there are. When we had Rath Yatra in the Emirates, in Dubai, and out of Abu Dhabi, they just hire some huge hall. It's an unbelievably big inside place. They have a cart, and they had 13 Jagannaths on the cart. Everybody brought from home. And they just go around and around in this big hall with 4,000 or 5,000 people. And they do them all over that part of the world. Sometimes it's outside, but not on a public road, but inside somebody's factory or something. So Jagannath is everywhere, and so we're very fortunate. All right. I was just in Berlin. They have the big Jagannath. So need a bigger house for them. All right. So that's it. We'll leave everybody. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Chichiketu ki jai. And we have Sachinandan Swami coming. Right? Yeah. Very good. It's intense feelings of separation to have Rath Yatra without Kavicandra Maharaj. So we have to pray for his mercy. I never went to one before. Every time I came to German Rath Yatra, the life of the party. but his spirit is there, and many of his followers also. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Kaun Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hmm.